Trump's plan to replace the EB5 visa with the $5 million gold card is a good idea.
I think this is do you guys see this? We're agreeing. I think this is definitely a good idea, first and foremost, because everyone knows the immigration system is broken. Sure, a lot of people in the Trump White House want to get rid of all legal migration, but this is a good way to, one, and I'm not going to steal your thunder because I think I might know where you're going with this, but this is a good way to reform the laws we have on the books without throwing out the baby with the bathwater, right? The EB5 visa system essentially allows foreign nationals to pay $1 million, come to the United States as long as they launch a business that creates, I think, 10 jobs within a calendar year. Mm-hmm. Seems pretty straightforward. We're bumping up the barrier to entry right here. It makes perfect sense to me, and we're trying to promote job growth. I see this as a win, and I see it as like a thing for Donald Trump to go fully in on and bridge the two wings of the immigration caucus amongst Republicans while doing it in a way which, like, Democrats can't really say, oh, this is inhumane. No, we're just selectively shrinking the pool and boosting our economy by doing so, right?
Yes, and it really does fit, actually, with Trump's view of, like, macroeconomic trade. Mm-hmm. If you are going to pursue more protectionism, and you also want to maintain a strong dollar, which we know that's Donald Trump, he wants to balance two things. It's basically the William McKinley agenda. Mm-hmm. Tariffs, while still bolstering the strong dollar to prevent that inflation. Part of what you want is you want to bring in more capital and more investors. It's a good hedge, and it hurts China a lot if you can do it. Of course, the stipulations stand that they have to vet these applicants. It's not just going to be like, you $5 million, you're good. They will check to make sure that the other countries, they're sending their best, you know? But also, this is probably the first big proposal I've seen from this administration that is significantly deficit reducing. Yeah. Donald Trump famously does not want to touch entitlements, which, as we discuss all the time, are the real long-term driver of our debt issue, especially the fact that right now interest payments on the national debt are the second largest line item in the federal budget. So how do you reduce that? DOGE, while, again, I've been supportive of a lot of things that DOGE has done, like shuttering USAID is not about deficit reduction. It's about making sure that we aren't funding Hamas terrorists and gender transitions in Guatemala. Yeah. This is actually deficit reducing. It does not take that many people. Like, think about it. So at $5 million a pop, if you give this to 200,000 people, and believe me, the appetite will be there.
It's a couple $1 billion right there.
There you go. Like, you're cutting a massive amount that could be there. And I think even don't keep it at my only correction to this would be shoot for the stars. I think you could go more expensive.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do want to sort of hammer home one point that you addressed. The criticism of this plan upon the initial announcement from Trump last week is that, this opens up the door to criminals, Russian oligarchs, whoever. We already have this system, right? They're just raising the price tag. You think the Russian oligarchs who are going to pay $5 million weren't trying to do it for $1 million?
Or come through the southern border under Joe Biden, which we know was happening.
Exactly.
It was all Russians and Iranians in the end.
Exactly. You won't hear me say it all the time, but this is a good, smart development from the Trump White House.